Hello students, today we go to the part 2 of our video lesson on factorization, which I have already told you. We also call it remainder and factor theorem. So here is an outline what we are going to do here. So today we will solve a cubic equation like this. Not solve, actually we are going to factorize. We will get 3 factor like as you have seen in my part 1 video, but the difference between part 1 and part 2 video is there also, I told you there are many ICSE question where they give you one factor. So my part 1 had one factor, you had to find other 2 factor. But here if you see this part 2 and I have an ML Agrawal, you will see one solved example is given, which is they have solved. He has solved 2004 question. Then in question 15 there are 4 parts. Very similar where no factor is given. So I'm going to solve 2012 and 2014 for you. So what you have to do, you will see solved example 4 and 2 you will solve on your own, 2010 and 18. Okay, so total we have 5 sum, and if possible I'll try to give other questions. So this is my second variety and third variety of question. So first variety was where we had one factor, second is when we have no factor, and third ICSE question we get where we have to solve for A and B and something like that, which we will see in our part 3 of my lecture videos. Now what we do here, what is the concept here? Factorization of a cubic equation when no factor is given. So then what we do, we need to get one factor at least, children. Like previous day, if you get one factor, then part 1 and part 2 my video means with one factor, what I have done in part 1 video, and here if I get one factor, question becomes same. So only here the main thing what you have to do, children, is to get the first factor. Okay, and that is generally what we call hit and trial method. What we do, we find f1, f minus 1, f2, f minus 2. So generally we try with the factor of the last constant term, like 6. What are the factors? 1, 2, 3. So we take minus of that also. So generally we try with the factor of the constant term and we get the answer there, you will see. And see which one. So here I'll show you 2 examples. You put here, so this is called fx, children, as I wrote. So in place of x you put 1 or minus 1, 2, minus 2. So when you do like that, wherever you get 0, so suppose f1 gives you 0, then x minus 1 is a factor. If f minus 2 gives you 0, so see the change of sign, then x plus 2 is a factor. So while doing again, so when I do 2 sum, you come back, you play back, you rewind, you come back and see the video in the beginning, and if possible you see the full thing. So here we go, we have got a cubic equation where we are trying to get the very first factor. After that it will be very easy, like what we have done in my previous part 1 video where many ICSE question comes there, and here also. So these 2 are the main places where 80% of the question come, and part 3 you will see where 20% like that question comes in ICSE. So here we have got one cubic equation. In place of x, wherever we will put 1, children. Okay, so wherever x is there we will put 1. Okay, so here some small trick also I'll tell you. See, 1 has x, if you put 1, so 1 cube, 1 square and all, they have 1 cube, square and all is 1 only. So here what we get, let me do, then I'll tell you. So we get here 3 plus 2 minus 19 plus 6. So here you see one very shortcut method, you'll see all the x's are removed, only coefficient of x cube, x square and all remains, because 1 cube, 1 square is 1 only. So directly you can see mentally also, lot of mental calculation if you do, your thing will be faster and better. 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 6, 11, 11 minus 19 will be minus 8. Okay, so x, what we do, we simply add the coefficient. 3 plus 2, 5 plus 6, 11. 11 if you do from minus 19, you will get minus 8. Okay, now take x minus 1. So what happens here, children? If you see nicely, the squared term remains as it is. So see here what happens. So whenever you take minus 1 cube, what happens? The sign of this changes. So see, the sign of this changes and this also changes. Plus 2 remains. Minus 19 becomes plus 19 and plus remains plus. So what do we see here? The odd number places sign changes, because minus 1 cube is minus 1 and minus 1 is minus 1, but minus 1 square is plus 1. So even number place, the sign remains same. So odd number places. So here you can see directly mental maths. This will become minus 3, as you see. This will be plus. Sign will change because minus 1 changes the sign. This will become plus. This will remain. So remember, when you put minus 1, what we have? The first values coefficient sign changes. Second remains same. Third coefficient means minus 19 is coefficient of x. Fourth remains same. So if you add, children, here, what I see, what we get here is 21 and 6 minus 3 plus 27, you will get 24, which is not equal to 0. Now let us see with F2. F2, if I put 3 into 2 cube plus 2 into 2 square minus 19 into 2 plus 6. So cube, what happens, children? The first term is multiplied by 8. Second term is multiplied by 4. Third term is multiplied by 2 only. Understood? First term, 2 cube is 8. So 2, whenever you substitute, first term is multiplied by 8, second by 4, third by 2 only, and fourth is a constant term. So what do we get, children? 24 plus 8, 32 plus 6, 38 minus 38 is 0. Now, so this is what we call trial method. I tried with 1, I did not get 0. I tried with minus 1, I did not get 0. Okay, you see here I added. Okay, I did not get 0. So here what I have written, which is not equal to 0. Okay. Third one we got equal to 0. So kindly pause the video and copy. Then, so here one more line just I'll add. Since F2 is equal to 0, therefore write this line, Fx minus 2 is a factor. So we got one factor, and question becomes like my part 1, where you saw one factor is given once more. When F2 gives you 0, like I told you, F1 gives 0, then x minus 1 is a factor. So F2 is 0, x minus 2 is a factor. If x minus 2 would have given 0, then x plus 1 would have been factor. So kindly copy, and then we move on to the next part of this question. Now let us divide the given cubic equation with one of the factor what we have got. So I have to make the first term equal to 3x cube. So you will first term of the quotient will be 3x square. So 3x square. So you can divide this by this to get that term, this upon this. So we get 3x cube, and 3 2s are 6 minus 6, it will be x square. Let us subtract, leave some space here, children, minus plus, you get 8x square minus 19x. So how x will give you 8x square? You have to add, multiply with 8x. 8x square plus minus minus, 8 2s are 16x. So again sign will change. When you subtract, we get minus 3x plus 6. So you do with minus 3. So minus 3x minus minus plus 6. So our remainder is 0. So our remainder is 0. Now we got this. So finally, if you see, children, one small example I'll give you. Suppose you have 24 and you divide it by 8. So 8 3s are 24. So what happens, and another thing I'll show you, 25 you divide by 8, 3s are 24, so remainder is 1. So one small thing you have learned, in any division, this is called dividend, is divisor into quotient plus remainder. In any division, if there is a remainder, dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. But when remainder is 0, then dividend is equal to divisor into quotient. This, when remainder is 0, is nothing but this into this. So same thing, you will see here, what will I write? Fx. What is my fx? This is my cubic equation. Okay, this last part is also important. You'll get 1 mark for here, 1 mark for this, children, generally 3 mark question, 1 mark for here, getting this quadratic equation or expression. Better it's an expression, because when you put it equal to 0, then it becomes equation. They are equal, otherwise it is an expression. So we write here 2x square minus 19x plus 6. So we know this, since remainder is 0, is this into this, divisor into quotient. Now last part of our last mark we will get, or last part of our working, is to factorize this middle term breaking. So you see, children, 8 can be broken as plus 9 minus x. So this, I think you have already learnt in quadratic equation in class 10, and in class 9 you had breaking the trinomial break in factorization chapter, where breaking the middle term, what we call. So this is x minus 2. So here you take 3x common, x plus 3 you take minus 1 common, x plus 3. So finally what we get, children, this cubic equation, x plus 3 you take out. This is plain factorization of trinomial. Okay, 3 terms, we make it 4 and pair it up. Middle term breaking, this is also called, which you are doing from class, I think, 8 onward. Okay, so this will be 3x minus 1. Once I take out this, 3x remains minus 1. So see, finally you should have all these 3 terms. This is fx is equal to all these 3. So generally sometimes children, they don't write this, they simply write this 2 only. So you lose 1 mark, you won't get the last mark, because the question was using remainder theorem, completely factorize this. So first factor we got by hit and trial method, then we divide this fx by that factor, we see remainder is 0, means this is a factor which we already knew because we got the remainder 0. So we multiply this with quotient, and actually we factorize the quotient to give the last 3 factors. So you should write all x minus 2, x plus 3 and 3x minus 1 to get the full mark. So one sum I have done and one more sum I'll do. So please pause the video and copy. Next we move on to question 15 part 4, which is ICSE 2014. Now same way with hit and trial method, let this be x. So this is a function of x. Okay. So children, again I am reminding you, we are doing these sums where there is no factor given. So our basic idea is to find the one factor, then we go back to the previous one. So let us put by hit and trial x1. So as I told you, when you put 1, mental maths method, what I told you, this is 1. 1 plus 10. So you don't see x only, because x 1 means it is 1. Either x cube, x square, x is 1. So see, 1 plus 10, 11. Here 1 is hidden. 11 plus 26 is 37. 37 minus 37, 0. That means f1 will give you 0. So let us put, I'll show you, 1 plus 10 into 1 square minus 37 into 1. So multiplying with 1, the value of a thing is only the coefficient you will see. So this is how I taught you. So once you see your children, this is 37 minus 37 is 0. So what we have learned, if f1 is 0, then by remainder theorem, then, or you can, yes, when remainder is 0, then, so you change the sign, x minus 1 is a factor of fx. So children, what you do, you avoid writing this full thing. Fx means this thing. So when f1 is 0, x minus 1 is a factor. When f2 is 0, x minus 2 is a factor. Many questions you will say this only, x minus 2 is a factor, because f2 gives you 0. Okay, so now, so I don't want to f minus 1 because already I have got 0. Okay, so we got one factor, so we are going to divide. So we are going to divide this, your cubic equation, by x minus 1 to get the quadratic equation, which will give me the, by breaking other two factors. So total there are three factorials, something into something into something. So 37x plus 26. So here children, you see x with what you will multiply x to get x cube, will multiply by x square. X square gives you x cube, x square into x cube, x square minus 1 is minus 1 x square. Subtract children, leave some space, so you get 11x square minus 37x. So x into 11x, so plus 11x, the sign will be same. 11x into x is 11x square, minus 11 plus minus minus 11x into 1 is 11x. Now when you change the sign children, this becomes 0 and 37 becomes your 20 minus 26x plus 26. So here minus 26 you take, will get minus 26x minus minus plus 26. 26 into 1 is 26. So if you subtract children, sign will change and you will get remainder 0. So last part is to factorize this. So what we do here, we write, so please copy, and then I will rub this part. So please copy the division, then I will rub the bottom part to get the final answer. So now we move on to the final step where you will get 1 mark if you do this. So x square, if you do, product of two numbers should be minus 26 and sum should be 11. Okay, so what you do, you factorize 26. Okay, so 13x minus 2x will give you your, so I write here a little bit. So once more, class 9, if you have a problem here factorizing the middle term, trinomial children, I have got for this 2-3 video lesson on factorization of trinomial. So this link I'll send you children. Okay, in the description box also you will get. So please, if you have any problem in breaking this, please see 1 or 2 or 3 part video is there on factorization, and total I think on factorization class 9 I have made 8-9 video lesson. So 2 to 3 will be very relevant for you. So please, if you have any problem here, please see those where you will know why and how we get 11x as only this and not any other thing. Because when you do proper middle term breaking, then only your grouping will be done. So see here, once more I am telling you, product of two number is minus 26, sum of two number is 11. So we break 26, we factorize, and we see how we rearrange that we will get 11. So 13 and 2, how we will rearrange? 13 plus 13 minus 2, because plus 13 minus 2, this 2 number, if you take product you will get minus 26, and when you add them you will get 11x. So this you need to know properly. We are not going to do in class 10 because this factorization you have done nicely in class 9 factorization. So I use the big bracket x square, okay, x, I take common, x plus 13, okay, minus 2 x plus 13. So any doubt you have, you check back. X into x square plus 13x minus 2x minus plus minus 26. So we got the final thing here. Take out x plus 13 and what remains is your, this I take out, x remains and here minus 2 remains. So this 3 are my factors of the given trinomial cubic equation. Okay, this is a trinomial, this 2 you get, but full cubic equation. So generally many children, they forget to write this, they simply factorize this. They are very good at factorization, but you have to write this also, because product of these 3 children will give you this. Okay, so this full thing if you write, you get 1 mark. So I have done 2 questions here, and I told you please do solved example 4, and in the beginning only I told you to sum you do unsolved, and I hope if you practice you will understand this. So thank you boys for watching this video lesson.